हेलो हेलो, व्हाट्स हैपनिंग। मेरी आवाज साफ आ रही है आप लोगों को? प्लीज लेट मी नो इफ यू कैन हियर मी। इन जस्ट अबाउट अ सेकंड यू शुड आल्सो बी एबल टू सी मी। होल्ड ऑन। टडडडा। हे, मुझे चैट नहीं दिख रही है। वन सेकंड, लेट मी फिगर दैट आउट। चैट क्यों नहीं दिख रही है दोस्तों? पॉप आउट चैट एंड दिस शुड बी गुड। एंड वी आर लाइव। व्हाट्स हैपनिंग? सो हाउ इज दिस होल इलेक्ट्रोकेम थिंग बीन? इज इट टू हेक्टिक और इज इट डूएबल? आपको क्या लगता है? लाइक आफ्टर दी सेशंस, do you feel that you're confident to take on electrochemistry in all its might, या फिर अभी भी लगता है कि भाई ये तो भारी चैप्टर है, भाई भारी चैप्टर है, भाई भारी चैप्टर है? What do you think? What's your take on this? Hello, hey Rek, नीरज, अगम, प्रणाम। अरे क्या हो यार, किसी ने होमवर्क क्वेश्चन किया नहीं क्या यार? मैक्सवेल जी आउट हो गए। Who do you think you're going to face in the finals? Is it going to be South Africa or Australia? What's your take? इंग्लिश में पढ़ाई होगी सूरज? Yeah, as always man, it's always little tough. मैच या फिर इलेक्ट्रोकेमिस्ट्री? इलेक्ट्रोकेमिस्ट्री डूएबल, मैच मे बी लिटिल टफ। इलेक्ट्रोकेमिस्ट्री कर लेंगे यार हम लोग, डोंट वरी। we'll do a lot of questions, right? We've done a lot of questions already. I've got a couple of them lined up for you as well. PYQ session भी होंगे, right? We'll do all of them. ठीक है, visible now? Yeah, perfect. Hey रसूल, let's start. दोस्तों, जब मैं आपको होमवर्क सेशन देता हूं ना, अगर आप, I know some of you are watching it live, some of you watch it afterward, it's okay. ट्राई करके देख लो यार। मे बी समझ यू नॉट पोस्टेड, ठीक है, इट्स ओके। पोस्ट नहीं भी करते तो ट्राई करो जरूर होमवर्क क्वेश्चंस, दे आर रियली इंटरेस्टिंग वंस। ये वाला तो बहुत डायरेक्ट था, पहला होमवर्क क्वेश्चन। यू वांट टू सॉल्व राइट नाउ? क्योंकि अभी तक आई डिडंट सी एनीबॉडी ऑन द चैट सॉल्विंग इट देयर। यहां पे सॉल्व कर दो। प्रणाम राठौड़ जी, प्रणाम। फॉर द सेल रिएक्शन 2 सीरियम 4+ पर प्लस कोबाल्ट गिव्स यू 2 सीरियम 3 प्लस कोबाल्ट 2 प्लस अगेन। ई नॉट सेल दिया हुआ है और ई नॉट सेल इसका दिया हुआ है या इस हाफ सेल का। व्हाट हाफ सेल इज दिस? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आइडेंटिफाई की ये रिडक्शन है, ऑक्सीडेशन है, कैथोड है, एनोड है, एंड देन आइडेंटिफाई की भाई इसका ई नॉट क्या होगा। स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड है यार। ट्राई दिस आउट, प्लीज टेल मी द आंसर टू दिस। प्रणाम दोस्तों, सबको रिमेंबर करते हैं। सवाल तो दे दो, जवाब तो दे दो। ओह रियली? दैट्स वियर्ड, हाँ रिक, दैट्स वियर्ड। लेट मी चेक आउट द कमेंट थिंग, आई विल डू दैट राइट अवे। शशांक व्हाट्स अप? इट्स ओके, अभी आंसर बता दो। व्हाट डू यू थिंक द आंसर इज राइट नाउ? व्हाइल आई क्रॉस चेक की यार, जो आप कमेंट डाल रहे थे वो दिखा क्यों नहीं रहे थे? दैट्स वेरी वियर्ड, दैट शुड नॉट हैपन, दैट रियली शुडंट हैपन। हां, आई विल चेक दैट आउट ऑन द फ्लाई, तुरंत, अभी, राइट नाउ, as we chat. ये तो नीट वाला चैनल हो गया, ये वाला हो गया ये। ओके, आई एम गोइंग टू लाइव वीडियोस एंड कमेंट्स। समटाइम YouTube होल्ड सम कमेंट्स फॉर रिव्यू, अपने मर्जी से, हमको बिना बताए कुछ करते हैं अपने मन से, राइट? मे बी इट्स वन ऑफ दोज थिंग्स। खैर अभी बता दीजिए, इट्स ओके, पहले हुआ नहीं हुआ, अभी बता दीजिए। व्हाट डू यू थिंक द आंसर इज नाउ? जंगल आर्ट्स टाइम पास मत कर यार, सवाल तो बता। शंकर गुड इवनिंग, प्रणाम। 1.61, ओके। रेक says 1.61. How many of you agree with Rek? What do you think? 1.61 volts or not? Rex says this. बताओ यार, जल्दी बताओ, सिंपल स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड है। नीरज ऑल्सो सेज दिस, मस्ट बी सही। शंकर से 7.1, 7.1 कैसे है शंकर? ओके, शंकर सेइंग्स 1.71, ओके, हटा दिया तुरंत, ठीक है, 6.1 हो गया। ठीक है, कूल। विजय ऑल्सो सेइंग दिस। हे, सवाल करो, आई विल रिमेंबर एवरीबॉडी। आई हैव वेरी गुड मेमोरी व्हेन स्टूडेंट्स सॉल्व क्वेश्चंस फॉर मी। खैर, the main thing to realize is कि देखो, this is the cathode, okay? How do I know this? Because reduction हो रहा है, see, it's going from +4 to +3 और यहां clearly हो रहा है oxidation, ठीक है? तो that's it. After that is very easy, right? I'm going to erase your name now. Sorry, I did not realize यहीं पे चीजें लिखने आने वाली है, ठीक है? All right, I'll write your names again. Don't worry. Rek and और किसने किससे बताया? Rek, नीरज, Agam also now, all right, sweet, sweet, sweet. Jungle arts, jungle arts. Answer दे दिया, किया नहीं किया solve. All right, Vijay is Anushka. All right, cool. Anushka, cool. ठीक है. Yeah, I know some of you use your parents, brothers, sisters account. It's okay यार. नाम बहुत अच्छा है आपका. But focus on the question. E naught cell is E naught cathode minus E naught anode, right? That's the main idea. If you're using the reduction potential ideas, ठीक है, अगर ऑक्सीडेशन ले रहे हो तो उल्टा होगा. I've taught you this in detail. सिंपल सा सवाल है, कुछ नहीं, x is 1.61. स्वीट, लेट्स मूव ऑन। दूसरा वाला होमवर्क क्वेश्चन था, दिस वन वाज इंटरेस्टिंग। ये जेई 2003 का, मतलब स्क्रीनिंग वाला सवाल था। उस समय जेई में होते थे स्क्रीनिंग और मेन, राइट? स्क्रीनिंग होता था एमसीक्यू, मेन अलग अलग फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, मैथ्स के, मतलब 3-3 घंटे के अलग अलग पेपर होते थे। खैर 2, 2.5, 3, आई डोंट रिमेंबर राइट नाउ, ऑब्वियसली बिफोर माय टाइम। मैंने जेई दिया था 2006 में। 2 students use the same stock solution of ZnSO4 and different solutions of copper sulfate to make a Daniell cell. The EMF of one cell is 0.03 volts higher than the other. The concentration of CSO4 in the cell with the higher EMF value is 0.5. Okay. Find out the concentration of CO4 in the other cell. इसको कैसे करोगे आप? How will you do this one? Jungle is Varun? Okay, girl. It's all right, Shankar. कोई टेंशन नहीं. No problem. बार बार बोलने की जरूरत नहीं. It's okay. I will hear you. You type once, I will read. I read every comment. Don't worry. बार बार लिखोगे तो it just gets cramped up. I have to scroll up a lot. Don't worry. Yes, Varun. बताइए. Match video is also not visible. अच्छा, Rick. This is weird. This one is 0.05, 0.05. अरे बाप रे, इतनी जल्दी. Have you guys already solved this before? या फिर आपने इतनी जल्दी कर लिया? Rick, Anushka, Sai, Kiran. Sai, good to see you. Varun is also, all of them are saying 0.05 as well as Agam. सही है भाई? मतलब a lot of you have already done this question क्या? या फिर did you just solve it right now? अभी क्या, कब किया आपने? I'm going to write on top जहां पे किसी और का नाम नहीं आएगा. Typing नहीं आएगी, कुछ नहीं होगा. Okay. Sai and Varun and a lot of people saying 0.05. Homework, अच्छा आपने किया है. Good. Homework किया तो you're all brilliant students. What's the main idea? देखो, E2 minus E1 is 0.03 और E2 यानी कि जो भी है ये concentration, यहाँ पे इधर कॉपर का concentration is given to be 0.5 है ना. C2 is C1. When you talk about C2 and C1 क्या? Zinc का. Okay, zinc in 2 and zinc in 1. That's what I'm talking about. C2 and C1 are concentrations of zinc. ठीक है? ये दोनों में same है because same stock solution मतलब same हो गया. And E2 is greater than E1 by 0.03. ये भी दिया हुआ है. Writing everything down. ठीक है? तो if I were to write down the two cells, okay, पहला वाला E1 given by this, E2 given by this. Okay. What have I done? Let me just explain. Just quickly. I know a lot of you are probably doing this. नहीं किया है तो I'm just explaining it quickly. बहुत अच्छा है अगर आपने 5-6 लोगों ने सब लोग किया बहुत सही है. आपने भी कर लिया बहुत सही है शंकर, बहुत सही. तो देखो ये हो गया आपका एनोड and then there's a salt bridge and then there's a cathode, right? So anode concentrations are the same. Cathode में concentration अलग है. That's what's happening. And now we'll write down E2 and E1 का expression using your good thing here. What is this called? This is Nernst equation. Yes. This is from Nernst equation जो मेरे पीछे लिखी है मेरे, yeah, right? Okay. E is equal to E naught minus RT ln Q. वही किया है. Q क्या हो गया? Anode by cathode. That's all I've written down. बस उसके बाद तो कुछ नहीं करना है. Take this as 0.06 by 2 and this whole thing comes out to be 1. तो log of this 0.5 by C is equal to 1. मतलब 10 गुना हो गया. तो 0.05 by C1 is 10. So C1 must be 0.05. That is all. Not C1, sorry. C2, C1 तो equal है, right? C1 equal to C2, which equal to concentration of zinc. C जो हमको निकालना है, that is going to be 0.05 molar. Excellent work, my friends. Excellent work. Yes, Nernst equation. Neeraj. Beautiful. Let's move on. आपने बहुत अच्छा किया कि ऑलरेडी सवाल सॉल्व करें तो हम लोग आगे जा सकते हैं बहुत जल्दी. तो सेशन करते हैं शुरू विद दिस नाइस ब्यूटीफुल ऑरेंज स्लाइड. यस, हाइड्रोजन गैस इलेक्ट्रोड. अरे बाप रे, शुरुआत से ही हो गया सवाल. हाँ, हमने गैस इलेक्ट्रोड तो किया था. वी एंडेड द लास्ट सेशन विद दैट. चलो एक सवाल करते हैं ऑन गैस इलेक्ट्रोड्स. इंग्लिश चाहिए ना, इंग्लिश ही चल रहा है जो पूछ रहा था स्टार्टिंग में. हाइड्रोजन गैस इलेक्ट्रोड इज मेड बाय डिपिंग प्लैटिनम वायर इन अ सॉल्यूशन ऑफ NaOH of pH 10 and by passing hydrogen gas around the platinum wire at 1 atmosphere pressure. The oxidation potential of electrode is 10x millivolt. Find X. Find X. I think there was a brand called Find X. Anyway, इसको ट्राई करिए आप. While I sort out कि भाई कमेंट्स क्यों नहीं आपके दिख रहे हैं हमारे वीडियोस पे. ये तो बुरी बात है. आप इतना एफर्ट लगे कमेंट्स डाल रहे हैं, कमेंट्स दिख नहीं रही है. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. I'll figure that out in parallel. But you, please give me the answer to this one. Whoops, hold on. कमेंट्स हेल्प फॉर यू. नहीं, पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे. आप लोग के कमेंट्स तो मुझे नहीं दिख रहे हैं. एनीवे, ओके, a lot of people saying a lot of things. Weird. खैर, anyway, cool. Anybody trying this question? What do you think? इस question कैसे कर रहे हैं? नीरज, all right. इसको you want the approach? You want me to give you a bit of a starting, like a bit of a tip कि कैसे करना है शुरू and all that? Let me write down what is obvious, right? अगर pH है 10, then H plus ion concentration 10 power minus 10. ठीक है? That's like the most obvious thing. Keep that in mind. It may be obvious, but आप इसको use कर सकते हैं because E oxidation और E reduction का अलग अलग होगा. ठीक है? Main thing happening here is कि what is happening here? The oxidation potential दिया है. So I will have to write down EOX. The formula is going to be the same. It's going to be E naught minus RT ln Q. But make sure you write down कि ये EOX है, not E reduction. 0.59. All right. आर यू श्योर इज 0.59? थोड़ा सा आप यूनिट चेक करो ना, मतलब मे बी 10 का वैल्यू आगे पीछे थोड़ा हो गया। अगम भी थोड़ा ध्यान से देखो। ओके, अगम एंड अनुष्का आर बोथ से, नहीं अगम एंड वरुण, आई थिंक अगम एंड वरुण आर सेइंग 0.59। ओके, साई इज सेइंग 59। देखते हैं क्या हो गया, वेट करें, वेट करते, ठीक है बलराज, करो वेट करेंगे। आई विल गिव यू एक पूरा मिनट ले लो, टेक अ होल मिनट टू डू दिस। ओके, आई विल काउंट इट डाउन। अभी टाइम क्या हो रहा है? नहीं, आई गॉट टू मेनी स्क्रीन्स बट किसी में टाइम नहीं दिखा रहा है। रुको, व्हाट्स द टाइम राइट नाउ? 8:41। आई विल गिव इट टिल 42। करो, ट्राई करो, आराम से ट्राई करो। ऑलराइट, वेयर डिड दिस गाय गो? ब्ला 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 ब्ला। Chat. How do I see chat में things that have been held for review or something? Held for review. Topic board, etc. नहीं यार, आपके comments do not seem to be held for review. Blocked words कुछ हैं। नहीं, none of our recent videos have anything. कुछ पुराने वीडियो में कुछ हैं। ओके, और कुछ है नहीं, आपके कमेंट्स नहीं दिख रहे, which is really weird. Not held for review anyway. I don't know कहाँ गए, अगर यहाँ तो नहीं है। I have seen all the comments until 12 days ago. उसमें कोई भी रिव्यू अंडर रिव्यू नहीं है। खैर, we'll figure that out also. But thanks for the feedback about that. Held for review वाली चीज। 5.9, चलो बहुत लोगों को मिल के आंसर लगता है। Yes, 5.9 it is. Good job. Neeraj says 5.9. Neeraj says 5.9 again. Neeraj 5.9 again. Rek also says 5.9. Okay. बलराज ने थोड़ा आंसर बदल दिया। वरुण ने चेंज आंसर 5.9। मे बी नहीं, अकाउंट का क्वेश्चन पर होता है। इट्स ओके, कोई टेंशन नहीं है। आपने सवाल कर दिया है ना, दैट इज व्हाट आई वांट। कमेंट आया नहीं आया, ठीक है, सवाल कर दिया, बहुत अच्छी बात है। 0.59, 5.9, अनुष्का सिंह 0.59, ठीक है। 99 यूरो, आदित्य आई यू नो दैट मीन दैट गोज आई, द किड गोज आई, दैट्स व्हाट आई एम फीलिंग राइट नाउ। खैर, E naught oxidation is E is equal to E naught minus RT ln Q. Q, make sure आप ध्यान से लिखें। Why have I written Q like this? Because oxidation हो रहा है। Okay, be careful about this. Q लिखना is half the battle won. See, I've got half H2 giving me H plus electron, क्योंकि ये हो रहा है oxidation, ठीक है। अगर आप Q को लिख देंगे उल्टा, then life will be a little bit hard. Little bit नहीं, काफी मुश्किल हो जाएगी। That's the 90% of the battle. उसके बाद तो कुछ नहीं करना है, ये तो सिर्फ 1 है, राइट? दिस इज 1, सो आई रिमूव दैट 10 पावर माइनस 10, बस हो गया, फिर और तो कुछ बचा ही नहीं है, राइट? सो दिस लिटरली 10 इंटू कुछ बचा ही नहीं, 10 इंटू 0.59 विच इज, ओ ये तो 0.59 वोल्ट ही हो गया। आई अच्छा, आंसर है 0.59 वोल्ट, बट हमको निकालना है 10x। वी हैव टू गेट 10x। ओके, 10x मिलीवोल्ट। अच्छा, नहीं, होल्ड ऑन, 10x मिलीवोल्ट 0.59 वोल्ट है। 0.59 वोल्ट है, 10x इज 0.59, x इज 5.9, बट मिलीवोल्ट है। मिलीवोल्ट मतलब और हमको मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ेगा कुछ और चीजों से। सो लुक्स लाइक दे वांटेड इन 10x मिलीवोल्ट। ओके, 0.59 है तो मतलब ये कितना हो गया? दिस इज गोइंग टू बी 590 मिलीवोल्ट, करेक्ट? इफ इट इज 0.59, इसको भी हटा दें, लेट्स रिमूव दिस फॉर नाउ। 590 millivolt. Okay. So if it is 10x millivolt, that means that x equal to 59. ठीक है? 59, is that okay? 59 है, do you guys agree or do you disagree? It's okay if you disagree. We'll chat it, we'll figure it out together. अभी समझ में आ रहा है कि why it is 59? I think एक बार बता दीजिए शंकर, मैं बता रहा हूं। It's okay, नहीं आया तो कोई चक्कर नहीं है। सो वर्डिंग थोड़ी सी अजीब है ना। प्रॉब्लम ये है कि मैंने वो 10x वाली चीज लिखी थी एंड आई फील दैट में फर्दर कंफ्यूजन, इसलिए मैंने फिर से अलग से लिखा है यहाँ पे, ठीक है? इसको मैंने काट दिया है, व्हाटएवर इट इज। लेट मी इरेज दैट। नो, व्हाई एम आई डूइंग ऑल दिस गोचा पोची? आई हैव कंट्रोल टू जस्ट रिमूव इट। आई विल जस्ट रिमूव इट ऑन द बैक एंड कुछ नहीं, स्लाइड खोल के मैं हटा रहा हूं उसको, ठीक है? लेट्स डिलीट दैट लाइन, लाइफ इज टू मच मोर इजियर। चला गया, दैट लाइन इज गॉन। फोकस ऑन व्हाट आई हैव रिटन, वो लाइन छोड़ दो, ठीक है? Is this okay? Yes, 590 millivolts. अच्छा, साई हीरो ने बोला 59 एग्जैक्टली। देखो बिल्कुल ऊपर छोटा सा लिखा है साई, छोटा सा नाम लिखा है साई, उसको हम लोग अलग कलर में कर देते हैं बिकॉज साई गॉट इट राइट। तो वील पुट अ नाइस ग्रीन मार्क अराउंड साई। वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट ही गॉट इट करेक्ट वेरी क्विकली एंड ध्यान से। सवाल पढ़ने की बात होती है एंड सैडली जेई डिड अ वियर्ड थिंग इसमें। कौन करेगा इतना यार, 0.59 से 590 मिलीवोल्ट, फिर बोलो 10x, उसमें निकालो एक जीरो, यार ये सब नहीं होगा, आजकल नहीं होगा। आजकल जेई हैज बिकम वेरी नाइस, दे विल नॉट डू ऑल दीस थिंग्स, इट विल बी मच इजियर। ये जेई एडवांस का सवाल था खैर। एनीवे ऑलराइट, रेडॉक्स इलेक्ट्रोड अभी बात करते हैं उसकी। रेडॉक्स इलेक्ट्रोड क्या होता है, थोड़ा सा थ्योरी कर लेते हैं फिर एक सवाल करते हैं, ठीक है? ऑलराइट, स्वीट स्वीट स्वीट। क्या थ्योरी है? रेडॉक्स इलेक्ट्रोड इज बेसिकली जस्ट द आइडिया ऑफ की बॉस व्हाट वी आर डूइंग इज रिडक्शन एंड ऑक्सीडेशन हैपनिंग एट द इलेक्ट्रोड इटसेल्फ। एक मिनट, रेडॉक्स तो हर इलेक्ट्रोड में होता है, बट टिल नाउ वी हैव बीन टॉकिंग अबाउट इलेक्ट्रोड्स दैट हैव ईदर जस्ट द मेटल and that metal becoming just the ion or gases being involved. What we have not spoken of are ions in both the cases, in their oxidized and reduced form. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, ठीक है, देखो यहां पे एक सेकेंड, स्लाइड नंबर 10। यार अलाइनमेंट is going to kill me one of these days. हो जा भाई सही, थैंक यू। नो, सारे अलाइनमेंट हिल गए हैं। लाइफ इज फन। खैर ठीक है, दिस गाय इफ इट एक्ट्स एज एन एनोड, इफ इट एक्ट्स एन एनोड मतलब इट्स गेटिंग ऑक्सीडाइज्ड, ठीक है, प्लैटिनम वायर एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा। अगर ये कैथोड करेगा तो उल्टा हो जाएगा, नो डाउट हियर, राइट? दिस इज वेरी लाइक डायरेक्ट। एनोड में एक तरफ का रिएक्शन था, कैथोड में उल्टा रिएक्शन है, उल्टा रिएक्शन हुआ तो ई नॉट एटसेट्रा, क्यू आल्सो विल बी अफेक्टेड अकॉर्डिंगली, ठीक है? एंड यू विल नोटिस दैट if it is the cathode I put platinum over here, if it is at the anode then I put platinum over here. क्यों? क्योंकि phase boundary is between the platinum wire and पानी में ही जो aqueous ions है, like Fe2, aqueous मतलब पानी में ions, right? Hydrated ions and all that. Cool. So you need to write it this way. So platinum and the species in contact with that together, right? Fe2 plus से Fe3 plus हो रहा है. This is important. Oxidize हो रहा है तो मतलब शुरुआत में lower oxidation state होगा. Okay? Lower oxidation number with platinum. If you'll see the cathode wala thing, okay, it's the exact opposite way. You get it over here. Higher oxidation and lower because this is reduction. ठीक है? It so happens कि दोनों तरफ platinum के बगल में Fe2 plus came to be, but the main thing is कि interface ये है. This is the phase boundary. Okay, sweet. Take a look at another redox electrode while I fix the oh my god, yeah. एक second, huh? Yeah, right about now. बाप रे, different versions of Office is just killing our vibe, huh? खैर, here's another little complicated थोड़ा सा देखने में. MnO4 minus, जिसका माइनस साइन कहीं आगे भाग गया है, plus 8 plus gives you Mn2 plus and this. This balancing and all आपने किया होगा लाइफ में, redox में किया होगा या फिर DNF में किया होगा. Either way, the point is there's an exchange of 5 electrons happening. So N is equal to 5. Okay. And you got all of these complicated things over here. Most of the time, this will happen at 1 molar concentration. So you don't have to worry about this power rate and all. And agar aaya ye sawal mein, make sure you put N equal to 5. That's all. Yeah, because you're going from +7 state to a +2 state. Oxidation number. Okay. Bit of a recap from redox as well as this thing. एक लाइन में इसे क्या बोलेंगे? रिपीट अगेन शंकर, ठीक है? व्हाट पार्ट शंकर डू यू वांट टू रिपीट अगेन? व्हिच पार्ट? आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट फेज बाउंड्री वाली चीज, सेल रिप्रेजेंटेशन, आयुपैक रिप्रेजेंटेशन, और आर यू आस्किंग अबाउट दिस सेल रिप्रेजेंटेशन? ऑफ आस्किंग लास्ट वाला सेशन देख लेना, उसमें मैंने बहुत ध्यान से उसको एक्सप्लेन किया है सेल रिप्रेजेंटेशन बारे में, ठीक है? दैट फेज बाउंड्री मतलब प्लैटिनम वायर है, उसमें ही आयंस इंटरेक्ट करते हैं उसके साथ, राइट? सो नेक्स्ट टू प्लैटिनम विल बी व्हाट इज गेटिंग ऑक्सीडाइज्ड विद Fe2+ to Fe3+. कैथोड में है तो रिडक्शन होगा. Okay, I've done that in detail there. For this, right now, redox reaction mein, I've got MnO4, yeah, MnO4 minus, okay, +7 state mein hai. Ye ho raha hai reduce to Mn2+. So I will write the E0 and E like this. Is going from +7 to +2. Okay, there is a change of +5. Okay, which is the N factor. इसीलिए मैंने N यहाँ पे डाला. I've been saying this बार बार. When we do RT by NF, I've been calling N the N factor because of this. इसी कारण, ताकि you know कि बॉस एक मोल ऑफ आयन के साथ इतने इलेक्ट्रॉन रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं, एंड दैट इज लिटरली द डेफिनेशन ऑफ N factor, है ना? खैर यही था. और दिस इज जस्ट Q, दिस इज सेम एज LnQ, राइट? LnQ मैंने कन्वर्ट किया लॉग में 2.3 व्हाटएवर, बट दिस LnQ, ये RHS वाली चीजें हैं, LHS वाली चीज है, यहीं पे आ गया, ठीक है? Is that all right, Shankar? Is that all right? You have many other things, like you could have this sort of a redox electrode as well, जहां पे आपके solution में SN2 plus SN4 plus है, etc. etc. इस पे सवाल आ सकता है, अगर आ जाए तो घबराइए मत. That's all I'm saying. You figure out from there. All you need to do is redox reaction balance करना है. The main step is balancing the redox reaction. Balancing, spelling गलत हो गई. Balancing redox to get N factor. Okay, because that is going to be RT by NF में यही N आएगा. Be careful about that. It's all right. Fashionably late, Bhavesh. No problem. No problem. Okay. Nernst equation for different types of half cells. Next वाला idea है metal-insoluble electrode. अब ये sometimes students को डरावना लगता है. ठीक है. metal-insoluble electrode. क्योंकि जैसे ही आता है यहां पे आ जाता है KSP का वैल्यू. और भाई KSP क्या होता है? वो डरावनी चीजें होती हैं. That's what students think, right? कि KSP आ गया तो भाई हमको फिर मग करना पड़ेगा. I'm going to prove to you कि कुछ मग नहीं करना पड़ेगा. Okay, nothing to be mugged whatsoever. All you have to do is do things from first principles. And I'll do this explaining a quick question for you. But उससे पहले, before we do a question, what is a metal-insoluble electrode? Let's look at some थोड़ा सा theory. Okay, you've got a metal rod coated with the insoluble salt, like AgCl. उससे मैंने कोट कर दिया, ठीक है, and then dipped in an aqueous solution containing the anion of the insoluble salt. So, for example, I've got this, okay, rod, some sort of a silver rod. उसके ऊपर मैंने कोट किया है AgCl, यानी कि silver chloride, and I've put it in KCl solution. So, what is happening is I've got the rod, okay, which is solid. Then there is a phase boundary there. फिर आ गया AgCl, which is also solid, and then I've got Cl minus ions in solution. Does that sound about right? Does that look right? ये जो मैंने लिखा है ये ठीक लग रहा है कि नहीं? I don't know if it is correct or not. But आपको ठीक लग रहा है देखने से? फेज बाउंड्री दो है, एक तो मेटल रॉड और जो मैंने कोट किया है AgCl, उन दोनों के बीच में एक फेज बाउंड्री आ गई. दूसरी फेज बाउंड्री है बिटवीन दैट AgCl and the पानी में जो Cl minus ions है. I know there's K plus, I don't care about K plus. K plus जाए, जो करना है करे. Cl minus is what I care about. है ना? Is it good? Moni, I'll try explaining in English. I'll explain in both actually. I can do both. Yeah? Hey Adarsh, what's up? Is this okay? Is this representation? Does this speak to you? Do you like this representation? समझ में आ रहा है? Are you able to follow? Why on earth have I put two lines there? Two phases, इसलिए two lines. And those phases separating what? Silver rod, okay? उसके बाद AgCl, उसके बाद Cl minus. All right? Sure? Wow, what's that? Varun? I don't follow that. Can you ping me on I teach Chem? I guess I don't follow that यार. आप अगर सवाल कॉपी पेस्ट कर रहे हो तो I won't be able to help you on that. Ping me on I teach Chem on Discord or Telegram. Yeah, and maybe I'll figure that out. Let's focus on the session right now. Are you able to follow this, guys? Moni, you're welcome. Does this representation make sense to you? This is the first step and the last step. ये समझ में आ गया? Life is easy. If you don't understand this, ask me to explain again. I'll do that. ठीक है? So, let's focus on this whole thing of metal salt electrode when I'm trying to increase. Okay, hey Rennie, Neeraj is actually Rennie. Yeah, you guys, okay, cool. Rennie, I'm going to call you Rennie from now on. All right, sweet. This is the metal insoluble electrode ka idea. Now, if it's going to act as an anode, oxidation happens, right? So Ag becomes AgCl. Ag becomes AgCl. But here's the thing. If it becomes AgCl, what's going to happen? It gets stuck onto the electrode. If it gets stuck onto electrode, how will it do that? Solid rod is there. It reacts with Cl minus from the solution and it gives this. So this is a very important equation for this. Okay? A new kind of equation. Because you've got the solid. I'm going to write that separately without the boxes so that it's easy to see what's happening. I've got both of these. It gives me AgCl. This is the insoluble electrode plus electron. This is the equation. Okay. And I've written it down like this. See, it's going from 0 to +1. What is going from 0 to +1? Ag. You'll notice that Cl minus seems like it's important, but it's inconsequential because Cl minus yahan pe bhi hai, yahan pe bhi hai. It is still, let me use a different color over here. See, this is -1 here, -1 over here. Hence, inconsequential. But It may seem like it's inconsequential, but because this is this is sparingly soluble, it matters a lot. It matters a lot. Okay, cool. Now, if I make this act like a cathode, then what? Ulta kar do reaction ko. Reverse the reaction. What reaction are we reversing? AgCl solid accepts electron, and this is going from +1 to 0. So this becomes solid, which is 0, and bach gaya Cl minus. That's it. Okay. Here again, Cl minus looks like it is inconsequential, but because it has some concentration, it will affect how much of this precipitates out, does not precipitate out. So oxidation number of Ag must decrease from +1 to 0. Yes. Okay. And Cl minus oxidation number remains the same. And as usual, the way I've written this is, my focus is this. Remember, the order is always going to be like this: silver rod and AgCl and then Cl minus. Basically, AgCl is in between. AgCl beech mein hai before Cl minus or Ag. Okay, Cl minus and Ag cannot react directly because silver rod ke upar already AgCl coated hai, which is why in both of these you will see AgCl is there in the middle. Okay, AgCl in middle because wahi to hai. And here also see AgCl middle. What has changed is what is to the left and what is to the right of AgCl. Okay, in case of what is this? This is cathode, matlab hai reduction. In case of reduction, I have put silver over here. Okay, because reduction ho raha hai. In case of oxidation, I have put silver on the left. That is all. Okay, art or magic? Do you follow? We'll talk about that, Shankar. Beautiful. Shankar has deduced something that's very interesting. Shankar, excellent. Just hold on to that thought. Art or magic? What part do you want me to repeat? To be able to write this, the IUPAC likhne ka tarika, AgCl has to be in the middle because what was the construction of the cell? Look at the construction of the cell. You've got the Ag rod first. Okay. Then this is 2 coating, and then this is 3. So Cl minus can react with Ag only through this AgCl thing. Yeah, so the interface has to be there. There are 2 phase boundaries. Okay, that separate them. Excellent. Excellent. Good. Good to know, Rennie. Art or magic? Sorry, I forgot your name, but I hope you've understood this as well. If not, एक बार फिर से देख लेना. We'll move ahead right now. Okay. Now we're going to try and figure out determination of E naught of the cell. E naught of the cell. Somebody said, is E naught 0? Someone was asking. Shankar was saying E naught is 0. Acha, dekhte hain. Let's see. Let's explore. Reduction potential. Okay. Of the half cell. This is going to get interesting now. Why is it going to get interesting? Because the overall cell reaction is this. But how do I get to this? How did I get to this? Now, this is where the equilibrium ideas, the most beautiful equilibrium idea is going to come into the picture. You know for a fact, that was me tapping this nice board here, that AgCl is going to give me Ag plus Cl minus. That's one equation. The other equation is Ag plus electron giving me Ag. Now look at this. If I add 1 and I add 2, what do I get? I get this. So although this is a strange reaction, it is just a summation of reaction 1 and 2. Equilibrium. Now you see why we studied all of ionic equilibrium, saying ki Baba, when you add reactions, then K equivalent is K1 into K2. When you subtract reactions, then K equivalent is K1 by K2. See, that's all we are doing here. This is familiar. You're familiar with this. This is also familiar, right? And if you add both of these up, you get the value of acha. This delta G is, look at this beauty, log KSP. You see where we are going with this? So KSP is going to feature in the E naught expression. Initially देखने से लग रहा था कि यार E naught तो 0 होने वाला है. It seemed like E naught could be 0 because a concentration cell of sorts. But थोड़ा ध्यान से. Okay. So you add up both of these, you get the third equation. That's all I was saying. And then this is this. So you get this sort of an expression. Okay. Now, any doubts here? This was the scary part. Unfamiliar. This is cool. These both are easy. right? So now we have converted the scary part into two easy things, and that's what electrochemistry is all about, right? So this is the reduction of Ag, and this was the KSP, है ना? Make sure you do the signs properly, not the SCIE and CE, that also the sign, okay? ठीक है? चलो एक सवाल करते हैं इस पे, बहुत हो गया, अब एक सवाल करते हैं। 9 बज गया, 9 बज गया। The standard reduction potential of a silver chloride electrode is 0.2 volts. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Rani, Balraj, Rek, sweet. Silver chloride electrode is 0.2 volts, and that of a silver electrode is 0.79 volts. The maximum amount of AgCl that can dissolve in 10 power 6 liter of 0.1 molar AgNO3 solution is what? इसी आइडिया को हमको यूज करना है, ठीक है? The one extra thing that I'll tell you is that E is going to be equal to 0. शंकर, आप बोल रहे थे E naught cell is 0. E will be 0. E naught will not be 0. E will be 0 if it is at equilibrium. That is the extra bit that I'm telling you. ठीक है? This is what you do. जल्दी में don't say कि E naught is 0. E naught थोड़ी ना 0 होगा. E will be 0. You see that? Yeah? E naught का expression I gave you, right? E naught, determination of E naught is this. But if you're trying to dissolve like this, then E will be equal to 0. That's a hint. Let's try it out. Shall we try it out, or do you want me to explain this to you? What do you think? I don't mind going ahead and just solving this question. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि बहुत भारी हो गया ये यार, then tell me, I'll help you solve it. One more thing I'll give you. E is E naught. ये दोनों है, ठीक है? एक और चीज दे दूं, एक लास्ट चीज दे दूं. Last bit, nothing more. Last thing I'll give you. This equation you have to write. ठीक है? Main thing now is to get here. Get here somehow. How are you going to get here? There were two equations. You remember? बता दूं क्या? Shall I solve? You want to try? I'll give you a minute. It's 2103. We'll go to 2104, maybe on 2105. 905 तक I'll wait. Or if you reckon कि भाई solve ही कर दो यार, I'll solve. You try. This is slightly different from what I just taught you. Slightly. इसको भी हम लोग दो रिएक्शन को मैनिपुलेट करके ही लाएंगे ये रिएक्शन. Okay. There we use two reactions to get to the third one. Here we'll use third and the second one to get to the first one. That's all. See, I've given you a hint. I've given you a hint. Concentration cell. It is also electrochemical shape, but anode and cathode by both are made by same material rod. That means Rp of A is Rp of C. Shankar, beautiful. That's good. That is good. In that case, E naught will be 0. Yes, in that case. अगर concentration cell हुआ तो, yes. That's what is next on the cards for us. Agam is saying 1. Agam, on fire. Okay, Agam says 1. 1 क्या? 1 what? 1 millimole? Okay. Is that Rene? Neeraj is Rene, okay. Who was Anushka? No, wait, I'm confused. One of you guys was... okay, anyway, tell me if I mess your name up. Rene says 1 millimole, okay. Okay. Agam says 1 as well. आपने कहा कि E cell 0 होता है. Yes, Shankar. E cell 0 होता है for this, not for दोस्त. सुनो. E naught cell, you're talking about something else. I'm not talking about concentration cell. Shankar. मैं concentration cell की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं. मैं बात कर रहा हूं, I'm talking about metal-insoluble salt electrode की. ठीक है? Here, I'm saying E is going to be equal to 0 at equilibrium. क्योंकि KSP का idea has to be at equilibrium, correct? Right? I'm talking about in this question specifically, you're trying to find out how much will dissolve. To get how much will dissolve, you need to say, acha, it is exactly at equilibrium where this equation holds good. I've got some amount of Ag plus, some amount of Cl minus. This reaction is equilibrium, hence E is equal to 0. Okay, that's what I was saying. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, Neeraj Rene, cool. Balraj is also saying 1. All right. Shall I go ahead and solve it? I think it is 905. Okay. Yeah, yaar, bas, dekho. And equations. Okay. Both of these guys will give me this equation. You'll notice that मैंने थोड़ा सा तिगड़म किया, which means I've made this oxidation and I've made this one reduction. How did I arrive at this? Because by hook or by crook, I wanted to get to this equation. And the only way I will get to this equation is if I make these guys add up like this. This is the best way to do electrochemistry. If you try and mug too many equations, na, life mushkil hogi. Electrochemistry will be extremely hard if you try and mug equations. But if you include the idea of ionic equilibrium, then life is easy. This is what I've used. I've just used ionic equilibrium. Now, this you know is 0.2. This you know is negative 0.79. Add them both up. That's all. Right? So, E naught of the reaction is simply going to be equal to negative 0.59. Okay. That's half done job. Now that I know that E naught is my negative 0.59, I'll say, अच्छा, this is going to be equal to RT ln Kp, right? क्यों? क्योंकि E is E naught minus this. So E naught is going to be equal to plus RT ln Q by NF, right? I have just written that as log Ksp. From that you get Ksp is 10 power minus 10, which is like a scary number. So 10 power minus 10 का क्या मतलब है? 10 power minus 10 का मतलब है कि अच्छा, this is weird. Now, but this is not fully done because I need to know ki how much AgCl can dissolve when you have 0.1 molar AgNO3. So now I have fixed the amount of Ag plus. Now this is going to further reduce ki kitna ho sakta hai dissolve. This is the equilibrium idea I was talking to you about, right? In this expression, I have fixed 0.1 mole of Ag plus, which means ki S, the solubility, S, molar solubility will be given by this. S into 0.1 is 10 power minus 10. S is 10 power minus 9 molar, which means ki in 10 power 9, this means ki in 10 power 9 liter, 1 mole gets dissolved. Okay. So 10 power 6 liter mein kitna hoga? It will be 1 millimole, which is the answer. Excellent work, folks. Oh, Rennie has come from the original ID. Okay, great. Or is this another Rennie? Anyway, sweet. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. थोड़ा मुश्किल सवाल था, थोड़ा भारी सवाल था. मुश्किल नहीं था, भारी था यार. मैं काफी we to do a lot to do this. If there are any doubts in this, please tell me. I don't mind explaining फिर से. Concentration. अरे शंकर रुक जा यार. Concentration cell के बाद रुक जा. अभी वही करेंगे next. रुक जा शंकर. तू confuse मत हो. Wait. Let's finish this ना. ये भी नहीं समझ में आएगा otherwise. Let's finish this first. धीरे-धीरे एक चीज करते हैं. One step at a time. So in metal-insoluble salt electrode, this is your overall equation. And how do you get to this equation? I got this by saying कि boss, AgCl gives me Ag plus Cl minus, and I said कि Ag plus gives me Ag plus electron. ये दोनों चीज मैंने को ऐड किया and I got this. ये सही क्या? नहीं. इलेक्ट्रॉन यहाँ पे होगा. अरे E plus नहीं होगा, E minus plus है ना? Adding both of these, I get the third equation. ठीक है? So standard half cell potential of metal-insoluble salt electrode is given by this. Blah blah blah. How do you get E cell? E naught मैंने बताया. E कैसे निकालोगे? Okay, that was for E naught. Now I give you an example जहाँ पे exactly you have to find out कि boss कितना dissolve हो रहा है, right? कितना exactly is being dissolved. Now if you don't want to know that, you have some other problem at hand, and you have to for some reason get E cell. How do you calculate E cell? Now E cell is only going to depend on chloride ion concentration. क्योंकि to be honest वही तो है. और क्या है? There is no other ion in the system. If you see that very carefully, yeah, there is no other ion in the system. You got E naught cell. We just calculated E naught, right? E naught अभी हमने calculated minus 0.59 आया था उस वाले example में, right? Anyway, because it was 0.2 and क्या था? Negative 0.79, right? This was 0.2 was Ag वाला, Ag plus to Ag, and this was negative 0.79 was oh hold on, maybe I messed this up. Yeah, this was the other one. ये वाला था. Okay, anyway, ये कर लेना, ये सब याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. मेन थिंग है कि look, it only depends on chloride ion concentration. क्यों? RHS में है, you have fluoride, which means Q is simply going to be equal to Cl minus. Is this okay? Is this all right? Is this okay, guys? Yeah. And then we expand this. हमने अभी E naught calculate किया था, you remember? E naught of this whole thing. This we are going to expand. Okay. When we expand this is Ag ka and Ksp. So this is bringing everything together. This whole thing is basically E naught of Cl minus with AgCl. पूरा लिख ही देते हैं, लिख रहे हैं तो, है ना? And Ag plus aqueous. Yes, this is this, and इसको add करते हो, so you get this. So it will depend on Cl minus by Ksp. Hi, Cl minus by Ksp. That is going to give you just Ag plus. That is going to give you just Ag plus. थोड़ा डेरिवेशन लंबा हो गया. What is Ksp? श्रीलता, ये आपने तो झंझट वाला सवाल पूछ लिया. श्रीलता, राम कौन है रामायण के बाद खत्म होने के बाद? श्रीलता, I'll tell you what I'll do one better. I'll do you one better. ठीक है? I will give you a video, a link of a video that you can watch आराम से KSP के बारे में in detail. ठीक है? I think that will serve you a lot better than me telling you right now कि what is KSP. That's going to be a little difficult for me to do because we are talking about a very different chapter right now. KSP के लिए you will have to revise equilibrium. Okay? I'll do one thing. Here is the link of the whole. Whoa, that's me talking on a different video. Sorry, I was getting the link. Here is the link of the playlist. Okay, Srilata, for you, for your benefit. And if you want to look just at KSP, एक second, I'll give you KSP वाला भी, solubility KSP वाला भी. Here is the video for KSP. ठीक है? मुझे भी बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है शंकर आपको पढ़ाने में. Seriously, मजा आ रहा है मुझे. You are all interesting students, man. That's what brings it out to me. ठीक है? चलो, let's move on. Okay, KSP के बारे में श्रीलता, answering your question. How do I tag Srilata? I don't know if she's seeing this or not. At Srilata, देख लो भाई. Links above, please see. Okay, sweet. Let's move on. I would love to explain this, but in the interest of time, since I've done pura chapters, it'll be better served if you check those videos out about KSP. Khair. Now, determination of E cell में, yeah, Ag plus into Cl minus is basically going to give you KSP. KSP is a solid, in short, KSP is a solubility product of what? Ag plus and Cl minus concentration. देखो जब तुम कोई salt को पानी में डालते हो, right? When you put a salt in water, sometimes it dissolves, sometimes doesn't dissolve. When it doesn't dissolve as well, it is called sparingly soluble. Okay, because hydration energy 10 चीजें होती हैं. खैर, anyway, yeah, if it's sparingly soluble, you can use it in this fancy thing called metal-insoluble salt electrode. We have done so far metal-soluble salt electrodes. Khair. So clearly Cl minus by KSP of AgCl is simply going to be 1 by Ag plus ion ka concentration. Any doubts, folks? Are we good? Shall we move on? It's all right if we're going a little slow. कोई टेंशन नहीं है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बहुत टाइम है लाइफ में, उसको ठीक से करते हैं. एक चैप्टर पूरा करेंगे, प्यार से करेंगे. Okay. Yeah, this is all I can do right now, Srilata. If you want more than this, you're gonna have to watch those videos, Srilata. Sorry, huh? Electrochem is our focus right now. We'll focus on electrochem. So finally, this is the expression. If you want to remember this, you can. If you want to derive it, you can. But this is what you need to use for metal-insoluble salt electrode. Okay. Arey, it didn't change. It did not change, huh? Hold on. Yeah, idhar. This is what I was talking about. This is the final equation you need to know. Sweet. All right, cool. No, it's okay. Nidhi, what's up? How are you doing, Nidhi? Thanks for the support. All right, you're welcome, Srilata. So, interestingly, at the end of the day, it looks like E is simply going to be equal to this, matlab, which is just negative 0.79 volts. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, khair. Calomel electrode, I feel like we'll just skip for now. If you want me to do calomel electrode, I can. I think let's solve questions. We have 15 more minutes. We'll solve question. No, Srilata, it's not better to remember, trust me. For JEE main, you will not need this. For JEE advanced, you will need this. Okay. So JEE advanced के लिए remember करने जाओगे तो you will really falter. Ask Nidhi. I think Nidhi is at IIT right now, right? You need to be able to derive it if your focus is JEE advanced. Otherwise, forget it. JEE main में नहीं पूछेंगे. They're not going to ask you this in JEE main for sure, bro. Like, certainly. Okay. You can check PYQ. They don't check all this. ठीक है? Only in JEE advanced you need it. And for JEE advanced, you have to derive. Okay. Remembering is not a smart way to do things in JEE advanced. ठीक है? I have calomel electrode up next, but I feel कि that'll divert things from our attention a little bit. उसको बाद में कर लेते हैं. Let's solve a question first. Let's solve a question on concentration cells. एक मिनट, concentration cells हमने की नहीं की? Did we do concentration cells? Hold on. Calomel electrode, concentration cells, blah 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 blah. Hold on. Consider the cell, blah blah blah. KSP. Okay, I've got one more here. Let's do this question. Yeah. Is calomel in JEE? Rani, I don't think it's in JEE. Yeah, calomel nahi hai. I have it prepared. I have things prepared for you. I'll tell you what. Let's focus on what's in JEE for sure. पहले पूछते थे calomel JEE में मुझे लगता नहीं है. I don't think so. Let's focus on concentration cell. Let's do that. Let's do concentration cell right now. What is a concentration cell? It has two electrodes of the same metal, each electrode dipping in a solution of its own ions. Shankar ji, आप पूछ रहे थे, right? The current flows in the outer circuit due to a difference in concentration and nothing else, or partial pressure also of the gases involved. ठीक है? So, difference in electrolytic concentration or difference in pressure of gases. That's the only reason because of which electricity flows in the outer circuit. Let's look at the first case जहां पे फर्क पड़ रहा है concentrations में. So if I take it, look at this. E cell is E naught cell minus blah 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 C1 by C2. C1 is what? Anode. C2 is what? Cathode. How do I know? Because first principles, bros. First principles. Okay. You've got, say, some metal Ag, right? Let's just say metal X, giving you X also. Okay. Same चीज बन रही है. यहां पे है C2, यहां पे है C1. Then Q is going to look like this. That's all it is. Yeah. That's what it is. ठीक है यार, n electrons दोनों जगह लिख दो, etc etc. ठीक है, whatever. Now what is interesting over here is E naught cell is definitely going to be 0 because E naught of both reduction and oxidation halves is the same. So E naught cell is going to be 0. Okay. And in this case, if you put n equal to 2, कहाँ गया हमारा concentration cell का? We took an example where n is equal to 2, then it looks like this. So take an example of this. Okay. जहाँ पे n equal to 2, copper electrodes हैं. यहाँ पे है एनोड, ये है कैथोड. हमने पीछे उल्टा लिख दिया था क्या? Let me just quickly confirm. What did I write over here? I wrote C2 as cathode, C1 as anode. हाँ, सही लिखा था. We wrote right. We wrote it correct. Okay. All right. Agam is saying 200. What is that? What is 200, Agam? Two copper electrodes having Cu2 plus ions at different concentrations. C1 and C2 are concentration of Cu2 in each half cell. Do you guys follow why I said C2 is cathode, C1 is anode just by looking at the expression? Because Q की value की वजह से. ठीक है? Just because of the value of Q. So at the anode हो रहा है oxidation, at the anode हो रहा है reduction. So the E naught of the cell is going to depend on the ratio of C2 by C1. जितना ज्यादा हुआ C2 उतना अच्छा हुआ सेल, जितना कम हुआ C1 उतना अच्छा हुआ सेल. Okay? अच्छा मतलब positive. Positive. Okay. Shankar, E naught is 0. Okay? E naught cell is 0. Here you go. You good, Shankar? वाह. Timer just wants me to take his name. So कुछ भी बोलेंगे भाई साहब. सही है, सही है, सही है. Beautiful. E is going to be equal to just this value. For E to be greater than 0, C2 is greater than C1. You see that? Do you see that? Is this okay? For spontaneous reactions ये होना चाहिए. Is this okay? Yes, Shankar. Thank you. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So yeah, let's look at a quick question right now. ठीक है? Here, sorry, it was showing कि अगर दोनों सेम कॉन्सेंट्रेशन है तो सेल कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. एनोड में मैंने कॉन्सेंट्रेशन कर दी कम, मतलब आई एम जस्ट एडिंग वाटर टू दिस. पानी डाल रहा हूं तो देखो बढ़ रहा है. कूल. इट्स जस्ट अ क्विक एनिमेशन टू शो यू दैट. ऑल राइट. It could also happen because of a difference in pressures. So here is another concentration cell जहां पे है HCl of one concentration and whatever, you've just got different pressure gases. So इस केस में थोड़ा अलग होगा. In the sense, please don't mug. Write it down now. देखो, here oxidation number of 0 going to +1 going to 0. Right? This is cathode, this is anode. So now what is Q going to be? Q now is going to be H plus at the anode by H plus at the cathode, and P1, or let's say PH, not PH, sorry, pressure of H2 gas at anode, pressure of H2 gas at cathode. ठीक है? मग मत करना यार. As usual, again, E naught is 0. Please don't mug this. This is very, very, very important that you do not mug it. Okay? It's not dependent on the HCl concentration. That part's fine. But you clearly see that it's this chap right here. ठीक है? Now here, if you're going to mug it, you'll be like, yaar, wahan tha C2 by C1, yahan hai P1 by P2. Please don't mug. Please don't mug. Do it from first principles. No, Rene, you don't have to remember all these formulae. Rene, you do not have to remember. That's exactly where I'm getting at. Please don't mug these formulae. Do it from first principles, right? These formulae are going to be useful in JEE Advanced. This one is going to be useful in JEE Main as well. Okay, kaun sa formula? For H+. For standard hydrogen electrode, definitely useful in JEE Main. ये वाला जो C2 by C1 also valuable in JEE Main. This one may be valuable, maybe not valuable, but the point is, ये देखो ना, write this equation down. If you've got the hydrogen electrode, then it looks like this. Okay? It may not depend on concentrations of this. So let me just remove all of that. ओके, बिकॉज दोनों तरफ कॉन्सेंट्रेशन सेम है, कॉन्सेंट्रेशन इज नॉट चेंजिंग, ओनली थिंग दैट्स चेंजिंग इज कि भाई गैस का प्रेशर क्या है, ठीक है, बिकॉज दिस गेट्स कैंसल्ड आउट, ओके, हियर एंड हियर, सो दिस इज व्हाई इट इज P2 by P1, Q is equal to P2 by P1, ठीक है, cool, if Q is P2 by P1 minus ln Q becomes plus P1 by P2, okay. Shankar, Rene, I hope I answered your question. And ये class लग रहा है कि बहुत भारी होगी in terms of derivations. This is the only class in electro that will have this much of derivation. Next वाले में I think will be quite chill. This was the most dense class, so to speak. ठीक है, अगला वाला काफी chill होने वाला है. खैर, at equilibrium कुछ नहीं होगा यार, everything will die down. Yeah, at equilibrium मतलब कि reaction हो गया खत्म, as usual, death of cell, etc., etc. E0, E0, 0, सब कुछ 0. ठीक है, so let's ditch that idea. Quickly, let's take a look at one question here. I did? Okay, great. Let's take a look at a question. Okay, consider this cell. You got platinum, you got this whole business. Okay, now here it is saying कि यहाँ पे the only difference, I gave you the answer to this by the way. The only difference here is कि यहाँ पे दो अलग अलग concentrations हैं, दो अलग अलग electrolytes में. Okay, it's not in the same electrolyte. In this case, under what conditions will this behave as a galvanic cell? मतलब E greater than 0 in which of these conditions? Try करो. Last सवाल है, इसको कर लो. Then we'll call it a day because काफी भारी हो गया है, right? This session already. We'll do one small derivation and maybe one more question. I lied. Sorry, I cheated. एक छोटा सा और सवाल कर लेंगे. एक छोटा सा मैथ्स का बिट डेरिवेशन, then we'll do this. इसको ट्राई करें. Shall we try this question out, guys? Since chat बहुत शांत हो गई है, what do you think? Who's going to meet us in the finals? Huh? Is it Australia or what should I call this guy? Who's the other guy? कौन खेल रहा है ऑस्ट्रेलिया? South Africa. South Africa खेल रहा है, right? Who do you think? Who do you think is going to face us? Just checking. Because otherwise chat बहुत डर गई लगता है. इलेक्ट्रोकेम थोड़ा भारी हो गया आप लोगों के लिए. भारी तो है, I agree, भारी है. But एडवांस में भारी है, JEE मेन में इतना भारी नहीं है. Okay. So if your focus is JEE main, don't worry, it'll be chill. And I've got you covered for JEE main also. It's not like मैं सिर्फ advanced का पढ़ा रहा हूँ. We will do PYQs and you'll feel very comfortable. Yeah, you'll feel कि यार इसने तो बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ा लिया. That's because a lot of you are focusing advanced, right? Maybe Jan attempt के बाद, if that goes well, you're going to focus only on advanced. And I'm making this एक बार पूरा ठीक से कर लेते हैं इलेक्ट्रोकेम, ताकि बाद में आपको जब भी देखना हो, अगर एडवांस की तैयारी कभी भी करनी हो, you can do it with these videos. ठीक है? ये सवाल can we try? Are we trying this question out? Ooh, did you hear that? That was a huge boom. India तो खेल नहीं रही है. Where's the boom coming from? खैर, ये सवाल कोई कर नहीं रहा है, तो I'm going to help you solve it. Okay? Here's the deal, right? For the reaction to be spontaneous, what are you going to do? Q is going to be equal to C2 whole square. Whole square क्यों? क्योंकि I've got this reaction where I'm getting H2 is giving 2H plus. ठीक है? And in the other case, I have H plus 2H plus giving me H2. Okay, this is at the cathode and this is at the anode. So Q is going to be equal to C2 square into P2, okay, divided by C1 square into P1. Do you guys agree with me or do you guys not agree with me? हमने उल्टा लिख दिया क्या? Q is, हाँ उल्टा लिख दिया. Yes, this is the anode, right? And this is the cathode. देखो जल्दी में मैंने भी उल्टा लिख दिया. This is the anode, so this guy squared times P1 divided by this guy squared times P2. ये सब कर चुके हैं शंकर. We've done all that. We've done all that. Looks like आपका थोड़ा electrochemistry का पढ़ना भारी हो गया है and you're not in the mood to do any more electrochem. खैर, I'm going to record this just as a video and you guys can check it out later if you want. Okay, so this is the value of Q. Agreed? Funny man, you guys are damn funny. All right. Here, this is the value of Q, and for the whole thing to be positive, how does that work? E is going to be equal to minus 0.059 by 2 ln Q. So, for E to be positive, I have to have this guy greater than this guy. Matlab, the denominator needs to be greater than the numerator. Okay, only then will E is going to be positive because the negative sign यहाँ पे है. ठीक है? So the answer to this question is going to be option C. There's a last bit of a derivation that I'm going to do here. Okay. पहली बात, thermodynamics से क्या relationship है? I've told you this before also. It's not really a derivation. Delta G naught is minus RT ln K. minus NF E naught E cell is going to be equal to minus RT Ln K at equilibrium, right? At equilibrium, I'm talking about specifically. E naught cell is RT NF by Ln K, which means कि if E naught is positive, which means it's a spontaneous reaction, then K is much greater than 10 power 3. But the reaction goes to completion. Okay, this is very important for theory. And the other way around, अगर KSP है, मतलब KSP is in the picture, which means this is much less than 10 power 3, मतलब E naught is going to be negative. Do you see that? Do you see these two things? Point number 1, point number 2. Are these 2 points okay? Yeah, जरूरी है ये bit. Second bit of thermodynamics, dg is vdp minus sdt. ये मैंने बहुत डिटेल में किया था पहले वाले सेशन में, इसको बहुत डिटेल में I had derived this. Yeah, useful work. You remember this? Useful work wala business. I derived this in detail. Please check that out if you haven't already seen that. At constant pressure, dg is minus sdt. And then you say कि अच्छा s is minus dg by dt. And dg को लिखो as nf de by dt. So entropy is dependent on dE by dt. So this is called the temperature coefficient of the cell. Okay, so basically temperature बदलो तो E naught पे effect हो सकता है. This is how you can tell कि on changing temperature how does it affect E cell. And from this whole idea of देखो delta G is delta H minus T delta S, I can also put this down over here. कि delta H is minus NFE plus this. All right. Last idea was this for today. I feel कि बहुत हो गया है, सर के ऊपर थोड़ा भार. वेदांत, बात प्यार से करो, सब करेंगे, ठीक है? Okay, let's call it a day. I had a few more questions planned, but लगता है कि ये पार्ट थोड़ा भारी हो गया, तो अगली बार कर लेंगे. Homework questions all your way. These should be doable. ये सब E naught, so concentration cell के ऊपर ही based है. Here's the first one. Okay, please try this out. And if you have doubts or something, just ping me on this. If you solve this question and for some reason when you put it on the channel and nahi aa raha hai, ping me on this. I'll figure it out. I have access to channel. I'll figure this out. First homework question, next homework question. All right. Chalo, have fun, guys. And we'll do PYQ sessions. क्या होने वाला है इस वीकेंड में? सैटरडे को क्या करने वाले थे? अरे हाँ यार, atomic structure. Saturday at same time, 8:30 p.m. नहीं, sorry. Saturday at 7 p.m. we will meet to do atomic structure, quantum stuff, fun stuff, quantum stuff. Okay. PYQs, JEE main, and maybe advanced भी कर लेंगे एक दो. ठीक है? एक क्वेश्चन करा दो, ठीक है? रेनी के लिए एक क्वेश्चन करा देते हैं. रेनी को एक करना है सवाल, हम हैं आपके मोहताज. ये लो रेनी, कर लो एक सवाल. बाय बलराज. भाग गया बलराज. रेनी बोल रहे हैं सवाल करा दो. वी आर डूइंग वन क्वेश्चन फॉर रेनी. कंसीडर एन इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल सेल A giving you AN plus. You guys can carry on if you want to, or if you want to check, solve this question, that's great too. A of solid gives you AN plus and B 2N plus and this. So this is very weird, right? You don't know what N and 2N are, but you don't need to know this. This is a JEE advanced ka sawal from 2018. The value of delta H naught for the cell reaction is twice that of delta G naught at 300 Kelvin. If the EMF of the cell is zero, EMF of the cell ho gayi zero, then delta S naught kya hoga of the cell reaction per mole of B formed at 300 Kelvin. Then you've been given a lot of stuff over here. Lot of things have been given. इसको थोड़ा simplify करके यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ. दो चीजें हो रही हैं. ये reaction is giving you this reaction. And delta H naught is 2 times delta G naught. This is to make your life easy. E cell is 0. So you need to get delta S. How do you do that? First thing to do, आप try करोगे? Or shall I help you out with this one, Renny? Let me walk you through this one. Give you the first step. Then you guys go ahead and solve it. पहला step सबसे crucial है. You write down the reduction and the oxidation half reaction. Okay. This is anode. ये है cathode. I don't mind writing this फिर से बार-बार लिखने में कोई चक्कर नहीं है. जरूरी है लिखना है in fact. Anode है तो इसका ये reaction हो गया. And to get the number of electrons to be same, देखो यहाँ है 2Ne, यहाँ पे Ne. I will multiply this second guy with 2. By doing so, now you see that Q is simply going to be equal to this. With this, can you try solving the question? I know we are at time, 1 घंटा हो गया है. But try this with this. Can you try this out? रेनी आपके लिए कर रहे हैं सवाल. गिव मी एन अटेम्प्ट प्लीज. कैन यू ट्राई डूइंग दिस फ्रॉम हियर? कैन यू ट्राई डूइंग दिस? टेक अ मिनट गाइस, ट्राई सॉल्विंग दिस. जेईई एडवांस का सवाल है, कर लोगे आप लोग? प्लीज ट्राई. बफरिंग में कोई सीन नहीं है ना, लाइक नो वन हैज एनी इश्यूज विद द लैग और सब कुछ नहीं हो रहा है ना. आई एम जस्ट चेकिंग बिकॉज नीट चैनल पे बार बार हो रहा था. Q की वैल्यू क्या आ रही है आप लोगों की? कैन यू टेल मी दैट? व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ Q हियर फ्रॉम दिस, फ्रॉम व्हाट आई हैव टोल्ड यू सो फार? व्हाट इज वैल्यू ऑफ Q? Can you figure out Q की वैल्यू? Is been given to you. This is 2, this is 1. No lag. Okay, great. Q is going to be equal to 4, right? ये 2 है और 1 है. 2 square by 1, which is 4. Now if you got Q out, life is straightforward. Delta S naught is simply delta H naught minus delta G naught by T. How? Because delta G naught equal to delta H minus T delta S. The whole thing is कि भाई एडवांस में जबरदस्ती आपको थर्मो पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा. That's the main difference between advanced and main for electrochemistry. थर्मो और इक्विलिब्रियम 100% आएगा along with electrochemistry. Okay, Renny and Aniket are saying Q is 4. Good stuff. इसके बाद क्या करोगे? Did you see that I have simplified this whole thing to this? Why did I do that? Because it is given that delta H naught is 2 delta G naught. I'm going to go back to the question and show that to you. देखो, the value of delta H naught for the cell reaction is twice that of delta G naught. Twice that of delta G naught. इसीलिए मैंने आपको बोला कि हम लोग ये simplify करके we can make it this. Your job is 90% done. Delta S naught is simply this. RT by T times ln Q, which is minus R ln 4, whatever that value is. अरे वाह, अरे वाह, वाह वाह, I'm so glad. Excellent, you guys are brilliant. You guys never give up. I love that. Vedant, Renny and Shankar all giving me answers. क्या आंसर थे अब देखते हैं धीरे धीरे. Agam said negative 11.79. Renny went with 11.4. 11.62 and Renny changed their answer to 11.7. ठीक है. Okay. And Shankar is saying 9.8 joule mole. ठीक है. So R ln 4 is what I have got. R ln 4 मतलब R into 2 ln log 2 into, but I think ln 2 की वैल्यू दी हुई थी ना. हाँ, ln 2 is given as 0.7. If ln 2 is being given as 0.7, एक second. If ln 2 is being given as 0.7, then what do we do? Then तो life is easy, no? Then you got 8.314 times 0.7 square, which is basically 0.5. हाँ, मुझे कुछ अजीब सी आ रही है, रुको. ln 4, that's 2 ln 2. हाँ, तो it'll be 1.4. 2 ln 4. So that's going to be 1.4 into 8.314. So मुझे लग रहा है 11 point कुछ आएगा, right? 11.6 something, yeah? 11.7. हाँ, cool, great. Aniket, absolutely. Great job. You're all brilliant students. Thank you for sticking around. काफी रात हो रही है. आप लोगों ने hopefully खाना खाया है. अगर नहीं खाया तो please खा लीजिए. Thank you for sticking around. I like doing these sessions with you. The JEE channel is beautiful. You're all amazing. फिर से homework question दिखा रहा हूँ. पहले homework question and second homework question. Yeah? Please try these and I'll see you on Saturday for atomic के सवाल at 7 o'clock for quantum stuff. Thank you guys. अगले सेशन में we will do electrolytic cells, Faraday's laws, वो सब चीजें करेंगे. Calomel electrode if you want we can do, but I feel की जरूरत नहीं है. अगर चाहिए तो बाद में कभी कर लेंगे. Calomel electrode is an extra thing. ऐसे ही पढ़ाते हैं कोचिंग. I don't think we need to do it. But it's just an extension of this metal salt. वो भी एडवांस का ही आइडिया है. If your focus is JEE main, chill है. ठीक है? चलो. Good night. Have a brilliant Thursday, Friday. और इंडिया के मैच से पहले हम लोग मिलेंगे फिर से सैटरडे शाम को 7 बजे. सी यू. बाय. मोस्ट वेलकम एवरीबॉडी. बाय बाय. गुड नाइट.